Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to really get into the work of Noam Sa-Man, who also goes by Nosaman.
Right. He's got this really interesting mix: UX, UI design, data visualization, even science communication.
Exactly. And our goal here is to try and understand, what makes his creative approach tick, especially that user-centric focus he seems to have. We've gathered info on his professional work to guide us.
Okay, so starting with UX, UI, what really jumps out is the range. MedTech, FinTech, Web3, that's quite a spread.
It is, and it suggests more than just being flexible, right? It points to maybe a core skill in adapting to really different user needs.
I think so. It has to be about understanding the specific complexities in, say, a medical platform versus like a digital payment app. Very different worlds.
Okay, so let's dig into that adaptation. His portfolio shows examples like multi-user web platforms for remote healthcare. That sounds complex.
Definitely. Collaboration between doctors, patients needs to be seamless.
And then you slip to fintech, mobile apps, digital payments. Trust and simplicity are probably paramount there.
Totally different mindset needed. And then there's that machine GUI he did for the SavorEat robot chef. I mean, that's interacting with hardware, food tech.
So how does one person bridge all of that effectively? What's the common thread?
Well, I think it comes back to deeply understanding the why for each user. What's their actual goal? Is it a doctor needing data now, or someone just trying to get lunch from a robot?
Right. The design has to feel natural for their context, not just the task itself.
Exactly. It's about mapping to their mental model, making it effortless, regardless of the field.
This is where, for me, it gets really interesting. His work in data visualization and science communication, especially in MedTech. Designing a banking app is one thing, but taking like complex biological insights and making them visual and interactive, that feels like a whole other level.
It really does. It demands, obviously, a good grasp of the science itself, but also a really sharp eye for visual communication. How do you show this data effectively?
So it's not just making charts pretty.
Not at all. The goal is distillation, taking these complex insights and making them genuinely useful for research, for decisions. Big decisions, often.
And the interactive part you mentioned seems crucial.
Yeah, letting researchers or doctors actually explore the data, not just look at a static image. That's where real insights can happen.
Okay, so there's this recurring theme emerging. Taking complexity and making it clear, making it actionable. He mentions turning data into clear dashboards for faster decision-making.
Right. And that's the core challenge, isn't it? How do you achieve that clarity? It's not automatic.
So what's involved?
It means, first, figuring out what information is absolutely essential. Then choosing the right visual language, the right type of chart or diagram, and then building an interface around it that lets people explore without getting lost.
It's like being a translator.
Yeah, exactly. A translator between raw data and human understanding.
And we see this blend of sort of analytical thinking and artistic execution when he talks about blending artistic creativity with technology.
Crafting unique digital experiences.
It suggests the look and feel aren't just an afterthought. They're part of the core function, maybe.
I think that's the idea. It's not like, okay, functionality done, now let's make it look nice. It seems much more integrated. The aim is something usable, yes, but also engaging. Maybe even inspiring, depending on the project.
Bringing bold ideas to life, as he puts it.
Yeah. And, it's not just him saying this. The client feedback really backs this up.
Right. Let's look at that. Shannon Rubin from Immuni. He mentions Noam's effective communication and great at solving complex design challenges.
That points to the collaborative side, the problem-solving aspect. It's not just about solo brilliance.
Then Amitai Oran at Sparks, worked with him for over 4 years, calls his skills superhuman. That's quite the statement.
It suggests consistency, right?
Yeah.
Delivering high-level work over a long period. That builds trust.
And this one from Gul Ben David at We Health Tech feels very relevant to our discussion. He talks about translating complex mechanism of bioinformatics data into a beautiful GUI.
Making it inviting and accessible. That nails the challenge. We were just talking about taking dense scientific stuff and making it approachable.
Yeah, inviting is a great word for data analysis.
It really is. It shows the impact good design can have, even in highly technical spaces.
And Ohad Sperling, an entrepreneur, adds another dimension, ridiculously efficient.
And a pleasure to work with on screens, interfaces, designs.
So efficient and good to work with. That's a winning combo. Where does that efficiency come from, do you think?
Well, looking at his skills, he specializes in Figma design systems. That's probably a big part of it.
Okay, explain design systems a bit.
Think of them as like a master toolkit for design. Atomic components, scalable UI kits, structured design tokens. Basically, pre-built, reusable design elements and rules.
So everything stays consistent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Consistency, flexibility, and it makes development much faster, more efficient because everyone's working from the same playbook. It's like having the super organized workshop.
So he's not just designing products, he's building the systems for building products better.
Precisely. It's a very foundational approach. And you see this forward-thinking vibe in his About Me Too. Talks about his passion for where design, science, and tech meet.
Yeah, exploring emerging trends, experimenting.
Right. It suggests he's not static. He's always looking at what's next, pushing boundaries.
And he actually shares some of that thinking, doesn't he? There's that free ebook.
Oh, yeah. Streamline your UX process with AI-powered workflows.
The title alone tells you he's thinking about efficiency and leveraging new tools, using AI to boost creativity, handle repetitive tasks.
Which is hugely relevant right now. Offering that kind of resource is a nice touch, sharing knowledge back with the community.
So if we try to pull all these threads together,
Yeah.
what's the essence of Noam Sa-Man's work?
I think it really is that potent mix of creative vision grounded in a really deep practical focus on the user. He's tackling complexity head on.
Across wildly different fields.
Yeah, but always aiming for that clarity, that intuitive feel, that seamless experience. It's not just about looks. It's about truly effective communication through design.
He really shows how user-centered design can, well, demystify complicated things and actually drive innovation.
Definitely. A great example of that synthesis.
So thinking about all this, it leaves me wondering, as tech gets more complex and more embedded in everything we do, how crucial will this kind of blended skill set become? This ability to be both highly creative and deeply understand user needs.
That feels like the question, doesn't it? That intersection seems increasingly vital for shaping whatever comes next in our digital world.
Something to definitely think about. If you want to explore Noam Sa-Man's work further or just dig deeper into user-centered design, we absolutely encourage you to check out the resources and ideas we touched on today.